Welcome back to the Larryb YouTube channel. In today's class, we are going to learn how to make this beautiful draped top that we see here. So it has like an inner top here, and then it has these beautiful drapes all over the shoulder, extending to the armhole area. I'm going to take you through how I cut and sew this, the fabric I used, and everything in this class. If this is something you would like to learn, kindly stay tuned to the end of this tutorial. This is a simple blouse, and I'm going to be using lycra fabric for this. Okay, lycra is a very stretchy fabric, so there's no zipper, there's nothing. I'm just using this fabric. I have my basic bodice, so it's just the regular bodice. This is the shoulder, this is the back neckline, the front neckline. The back is 3 by 1, the front is 3 by 3. And then my armhole, I increase. So let's say your armhole is 9, you can come up by maybe 1 inch, so that the armpit is not going to be showing so much because it is sleeveless. Okay, so for this side, I did not add any side seam allowance because the fabric is very stretchy. In fact, if you want it really fitted, you can even take out maybe 1 inch by this side, so that it can really clinch to your body. But for me, I did not add seam allowance to this, so, and I'm going to be sewing by 1 inch, so that's just like me taking out 1 inch as well. So this is the length of the top. You can make yours long or short, but this fabric tends to fold, that's why I made it this long. So this is my basic body. The next thing I'm going to do now is to put my fabric on fold by 4, because I want to cut both the front and back together. So I have laid my fabric on the table, and like I said, I am folding in 4 places. We fold into 2 and 4. So make sure that this center point is on fold for both front and back, because remember there is no zipper allowance for this. So now I'm going to place my fabric on my pattern on it, no allowance. So I'm just going to cut out what I have here. So you can decide to use your pin to hold this, or you can just place something on it. Just make sure that it is firm. So once you do this, you grab your scissors and then you cut. I've cut it out now, so I'm going to take out the patterns. But remember that the front neckline is going to be different, so you can just mark where it is and where your shoulder is, so that you can reconnect it, or you just cut on your pattern. But I don't want to cut the neckline on the pattern because I still want to use this pattern. So here, this is the point that I need to link together. I'm going to take my curve ruler now and then place it like this, and then connect for the front. So once I connect it, I'll open it up and then take out the back. So once you have your back separate, you replace it. Make sure that it is aligning well before you go ahead to cut. So I'm making sure of that. I want to make sure that I have it properly, and then I'm going to cut out the front neckline. So now this is what I have. The next thing to do is to go ahead. It's a very simple top, like I said. You place it on each other, right side facing right side, and then you join it on the shoulder. You join it on the shoulder like this, as well as the side. So after that, we pipe the armhole and then pipe the neckline. You hem the lower part, then we're going to drape on it. So this is the blouse. I have joined the shoulder, I piped the neckline, the armhole, and then I've also hemmed it on the lower part, so it is ready. And of course the side is sewn. So now we're going to be working on the actual drape. So for this drape, the measurement that I have for mine, basically I want it to just be a little below the knee. So you can see this is the length that I am going for, and what I have here is about 120 inches in length. And then for the width, the one that's going to form the cowl This is about 28 inches. So this fabric that I'm working with, it's, I don't know, it's not a cotton fabric, it's like polyester. It was even difficult to sew, so it does not feel. It's like a poly fabric. Yes, it's like poly, so it does not feel, but it's very difficult to sew. That's why I'm not sewing it. But if yours is easier to sew, maybe it's a proper lycra fabric, you can just fold twice and then hem on all the sides before you drape. But for me, this is how I'm going to be using mine. So what I'm going to do first is to determine the center point. So you do that by just folding it into two. Remember, you fold the 120, so that means you have 60 on each side, and then you note the midpoint. So this is my midpoint here, so I'm just going to try to just, you don't have to pin it, but I just want to make sure that I'm centralizing it well. So for the first one like this, I'm going to put it on fold so that the rough edge is going to be inside, and then you're going to do your first drape exactly how you want it to be. So once you drape it like this, you use your pins to hold. Okay, so there are several ways you can drape. You can drape it along your shoulder like this, but for me, it's not just going to be on my shoulder. I'll start from my shoulder, then bend and come along the armhole area, so that that's just how I want mine. Okay, so this is my first drape, and you can see the depth that I have on my neckline. If you want it higher, all you need to do is to make it higher. Okay, so it's totally up to you and the drape that you're going for. So if you want it to be lower as well, you just drape it exactly how you want it to be. So this is our first drape. The next thing is to go ahead now and start making the next drapes. So this is the next one, you can see. So I'm just going to take the next drape and then sort of pleat or gather it, and then you pin it down. So you're going to take the next one, pleat or gather, and pin it down. So before I drape everything completely, I have a length in mind that I want this to stop. So for me, I want the length to be around the waist area. Okay, so in order for me to be able to drape appropriately, I'm going to take the last one here and then look at where I want it to be. Like I said, I want it around my waist area, so I'm looking at that, and then I'm going to be pinning that to where my drape is supposed to be. Remember, I said I want it to be along the armhole area, so it's going to be stopping around here. So that is where I'm going to pin it. But you can also do more of this so that you don't have so much fabric to deal with. So let me just still pin a little bit before I go over to the hem, because this fabric is very stretchy, and kind of heavy as well. So now I am going to take this, fold it inwards like this, so that the rough edge is going to be concealed, and then I'm going to be draping it somewhere around the armhole here. Okay, so I'll just put it there and then fill up the remaining part. So you can see now that as I am draping, it's no longer straight on my shoulder, it's coming towards the armhole like this. So I'm just filling the rest. You can also drape side by side. Maybe if you do one here, you do one to the other side, but this is a tutorial and I don't want us to be going about, so I'm just doing what I have to do. So you can see the drape that we have there. So I'm going to come over to this side now, and then I'll just follow what I have already created here, and then use that to form the drapes for this side. So you can see I'm going to pin. You go ahead and pick the next drape, make sure it is aligning well. I'm still going to go ahead and redress that side as well. So I just want to have like a base, so I'll do the same thing here as well. I'm going to drape it, I'm going to pin it down. So once you have done maybe like 4 drapes, then I'll go over to the hem, just like I did for this first one, and then I'll now check where it is going to be. Okay, where you want it to be. So for me, you can stop it here, but I think I still want it lower than this. So I'm just going to pin. I'm going to release my hand so that it can drop down, and then I'm going to pin it where it's supposed to be, so just somewhere along the armhole area. So I'm dropping it down so it's bigger here. So I'll come back here again as well to release it a little bit, because I want it to be around my waist area. So So like I said, it can be anywhere. It can be on your bust. If that is what you want, it can stop on your under bust. But for the owner of this, it wants it to be, she wants it to be just below her waist. That is why I am using that as my template. So I'm just pleating in the remaining parts. Remember that I left some to come and hold the one in the middle. So I'll still leave this because I've not dressed it. So I'll just come to this side now, take out some pins, and then drop this more. Okay, I'm going to drop it down more so you can see. Can you see now? So once you drop it, it's going to come down to wherever. So this is where I want it. So you just drop to wherever it is that you want it to be, and then you pin. So once you pin it, you will now repin the rest and then fill everything up so that they align properly. So it is that easy. This is the length I want for my drape. So now I can go over to the other side there and then do the same thing. So it is that simple. So once you are done with this, you use your needle and thread to tack it first, and then you remove it, go over to your sewing machine if you can, and then use your machine to sew it. If you cannot, you tack it properly and the top will be ready. So once you are done draping, you can see, you check to see if you like what you have there, and I like what I have. So I'm going to make needle and thread. If you have a curved needle, that's also fine. I can't find mine right now, so I'm going to be working with this. So I'm going to be, there are two ways to do it. You can repin as you are removing it, but for this, like I said, this fabric is very difficult to sew. So that is why I'm just going to try to tack it. Then I'll take it to my sewing machine. If I'm able to sew it, I will sew. If I'm not able to sew it, then I think I'll just go with this tacking. So I'm just going to be removing the thread the pins one at a time, and then I'm going to tack the drapes in place. So if your fabric is sewable, you just need to tack it like a running stitch. It doesn't have to be close like mine, but I'm tacking this close because I'm not sure I'm going to be able to sew on it because of the texture of the fabric. It's a poly fabric, so it's very, if you have any tip on how to sew this type of fabric, just let me know. I was able to sew the sides using paper because I even tried candle gum and it was not working. So I was able to sew it with paper. At some point the machine stopped sewing it. So if you have any tip on how to sew this type of fabric, please let me know in the comment section. So in order for the video not to be too long, I'm going to pause it, but you can see what I'm doing. I'm simply tacking. I'm tacking it down so that I can move it from the mannequin to the machine. So once you get to a point, to remove your pin and then you tack that down as well. So it is that simple. I'm done tacking it. I'm just trying to knot a tie here. You can see now that we don't have pins there and we still have our drapes. So if I'm able to sew it, I will even pleat it more so that it can give me more drapes. So this is what you will do to the other side as well, and once you are done with that, your top is ready. Once you are done tacking, this is what you're going to have. You can see how beautiful this is looking. Your drape can be as long as you want, but this is what 120 inches by 28 gave me. I hope you enjoyed making this beautiful tutorial with me. If you enjoyed it, let us know in the comment section. Like, comment and subscribe to our channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.